end of time began was, at least according to the Hopi and to Grandfather Eric, of the historian out of the Hopi reservation. I was riding on a bus with him in Guatemala, and this was in November, and in the month before that, on October 24th, I think it was, of 2007, there was a cosmic experience in the sky. I doubt if there's more than just a few 100,000 people that even know it took place. It was one of the biggest events ever occurred in known history. And it was called the Blue Star Prophecy. And a comet came into our solar system, little tiny thing. And then on October 24th, it blew up. Well, exploding comets are pretty rare. We don't see those very often. And if they do, they usually don't do much. But this thing exploded into a blue sphere that kept expanding and expanding and expanding until it was literally larger than the sun. It was the biggest object ever recorded, ever, that we know of throughout history. An object larger than the sun is now the largest object ever seen. So here's this blue sphere. Here the sun was like this, and it was bigger. And it was prophesized as the beginning of the end of what is called the end of time. And yet, it was not in the newspapers. It was not in magazines. There might have been some somewhere. It was not on any of the news channels or anything else like that. And yet, this was a really big deal. And so, when you see something like this, if you know the history behind it, if you know that this is coming, and like in the prophecy for 200 years, the Hopi said this is going to happen as we approach to this time. You will know when we enter into this time when you see the blue star. There it is, the star that actually was bigger than the moon too when it was out there. My daughter watched this take place, and it happened very quickly. These kinds of things, if you watch them and you understand them, they can have a very huge effect on certain people that are understanding what was going on. But most of the world has no idea. They have no awareness of any of these kinds of things. There's going to be a red star coming in the future. This is also part of the prophecy. And yet no one can explain where that's going to come from either. However, right now there is a star in the Orion constellation that's very close to us that they believe may explode any minute. And if it does, it will become a huge red star in the sky. It'll be a supernova. And it's already imploding right now, and they figure when it gets to a certain level, it'll explode and become that. That would have shock waves that would actually hit the Earth. We would feel it as well as see it. I mean, because it's very close to us. This is, in cosmic distance, this is nothing. It's a very close star to us. And that was also prophesied 200 years ago. And for the people that are involved in these prophecies, they'll go, yep, of course, this is it, and they'll understand that. But again, when it happens, the world will probably never know any of these, will not understand any of these things. If it is what I think it is, our ascension process into higher consciousness will begin prior to that, before that happens.